I did it. I finally shut down the Ventrac. Hey guys, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. Today we're going to be working on the Ventrac tractor. I'll show you what I did. We've got two busted spindles. I happened to run off into a ditch full of rocks with the finish cut deck on the Ventrac tractor. Unfortunate. If you guys follow the farm vlog, you know that this place is covered with rocks. So we're trying to slowly eliminate those rocks, and we're not trying to eliminate them with our mower deck. So we broke two spindles today. We're going to show you how we replace a spindle, how simple and easy it is to replace a spindle. We'll show you the broken one, and we'll have a little bit of fun mechanicking here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. All right? Woo! Alright guys, in case you don't know what a spindle is, the spindle is the rotating portion that this blade rotates on right here. And there are three different spindles underneath this deck. Now the other deck, the rough cut deck from Ventrac, has three spindles also, but they're a little bit different from these spindles. What happened was I was cruising along through a field and it was kind of rough, and I dropped my tires off in a ditch, and the bottom of this deck basically went bam and nailed the bolt that holds the blade onto the spindle. And when it did that, I'll show you what it did. I'm going to show you what a new one looks like. I've got a new one right here. This is the new spindle. It's got grease fittings on here. It has sealed bearings inside of it. It's smooth as silk, and what we busted was the housing right here, and you'll get a little bit better shot. You can see that there is holes right in here in the housing, and we just basically shattered all the way around that housing. Let me get you a little close up. So the first spindle we broke was this spindle right here, and it's been cracked for quite some time. It seems to me that the outer blade on this machine catches the most rocks, and you can see that that blade is bent. That blade is bent and that blade is straight. So we whacked a rock at some point right here. Now the center one is the one of major concern. This thing is broken all the way around, and you can see it's not good, not a good thing. So the first part of this, we're going to take our blades off, and then we're going to start unbolting everything. And up in here, the cool thing about the Ventrac tractor, you can see down in here, this is all the belts and everything. There's a belt tensioner that we've released tension on, so it shouldn't be that hard to pull these out. Now this is totally new territory for me. It shouldn't be that bad. It should be just a part to replace. Pull one part out, put a new part in. All this stuff is covered with grass and covered with grime, so I got to clean all that off with a wire brush or something like that, and then we'll go on and get busy. I'll probably just do one of them and show you how it's replaced and how to replace a spindle. Basically, on any lawnmower, it should be about the same. We'll pull this thing apart. So we're gathering up our tools here, and I'm using a DeWalt impact driver and a smaller DeWalt impact for cleaning off all the nuts and bolts and stuff. It's pretty simple. All you got to do is just put it right on the bolt head right here and just give the trigger a squeeze, and that thing right there will clean off any grime. Check this out. It's pretty cool. We just put it right on there. Boom. Clean as a whistle. And we'll be cleaning off all these basically the same way. Nice. That beats the caveman way with the wire brush. Hopefully we can use all power tools for this. Okay, let's remove our blade first. Whoo-wee, she's tight. A lot of times when you hit something really hard with these blades, it tightens them, which is a good thing. It doesn't knock the blade off, but man, it makes it hard with this wrench. So we'll probably have to get a breaker bar to get this off. That one came off. Here's how the blades are held on. Basically the bolt goes through right here. There's a stop right in here in place so the blade can't spin freely. And that's pretty much it. I've encountered this problem before, so I keep a gigantic pipe here just to use to break stuff free. These mowers will tighten up, which is a good thing. I mean, these blades will tighten up. Definitely a good thing. This breaks it free without a hitch. maybe. Woo. Woo. She snuck down big time. Let's get the bigger breaker bar. I have yet to see this breaker bar fail. We'll put a little extension on here. This is my Big Daddy rotating head breaker bar. Man, come on. Gonna need shoulder surgery after this. All right, she's all broke free. Pull off our stabilizer pipe. And off comes the blade. Very nice. This is one of the problems. Look at that gouge. Took a huge gouge out of that blade. So we're gonna go ahead and clean these bolt heads up and everything, get it all ready to rock and roll, and then we're gonna lower our deck back down to the ground. And the reason we're doing that is because there's a pulley that's mounted to this shaft, and there's a keyway in that pulley. So we've got to pull the pulley, knock the keyway out, slide the pulley up. I hope we don't need a wheel puller. It doesn't look tapered, so it should be okay, I think. Maybe we can just pop it right off and get moving with it. If we need a wheel puller, then we're gonna have to head to the auto parts store. Crusty. Clean. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up all the way around here so that when we mount this thing back up, we don't have any debris to worry about. And we'll move on down the line and we'll get this one done. Grass don't taste good. Just that easy to flip up the deck here. Very, very simple. So this is the belt tensioner right here. This is a lever that tensions the belt down, and we'll slide the pin back in because we want tension on the belt while we're trying to remove these pulleys. And there's a pulley here and a pulley right there. We're gonna make an attempt with this pulley. Nice. Yeah, baby. So for this next one right here, I've got a ratcheting wrench and I've got my fingers really, really crossed here. This is gonna hold. I'm not so sure I'll be able to do this like I want to without losing some knuckles. Oh, come on, baby. Gotta get that pulley off in order to drop the spindle. We've got to find a way to wedge that pulley so it doesn't move. We're gonna have to raise the deck back up, put the blade back on, and put that piece of pipe back on there to hold it steady while I loosen the top where this pulley is. Me scratching my head here, I think I can reach this from up here. So that'll make it nice, that'll make it easy. We'll go ahead and pop that blade back on and loosen that pulley up. There we go. Whew, it's good when things work out. All right, hopefully we can wiggle this guy loose. Oh yeah. Dang it, dropped the pin. So this is the pulley that I just pulled off, and we're gonna label each one of these pulleys. So this one was the center pulley, and we're gonna label this the top and this the bottom. And we're gonna do the same with the other pulley down here. Of note, these little keys have like a goop on them to help them stay in place so they don't fall off like the one I just dropped. Again, before we put the new one in, I'm gonna clean up everything right here. Just kind of brush everything off, make sure it's clean as a whistle. Okay, here's our new spindle, and what I want to do is take my arm and reach back in behind the deck, and I guess if you were doing this on a regular lawnmower, you just pull the deck off, but we'll hold those 6 bolts in place fairly firmly. We want to make sure and make note of where the grease fitting is. I don't want the grease fitting to be right in the front. I want the grease fitting to kind of be off to the side. In other words, on this plane, not on this plane. So that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a little bit off to the side. That way we're not accidentally jamming stuff in there. Now there are some serious theories on whether you can actually grease a spindle, because these are sealed bearings in here. So if they're sealed bearings and you put grease in that grease fitting, I think maybe in the next video we'll dissect one of these and see if it's a sealed bearing and see where that grease fitting leads. Most spindles have a grease fitting on them. Is it for the comfort of the owner of the tractor, or does it actually work? I've seen videos that speak to the contrary, that it does not work. So we got them in place. Go ahead and put all the nuts on loosely, get it all lined up, and we'll tighten everything back up and move on to the next one. You guys don't need to see me pull 2 spindles. I did invest in something that's pretty interesting. We'll show you that before we put our newly sharpened blades on here. And I've got some nice sharp blades to go back on this machine. We'll kind of tighten these on like a wheel, like a car wheel, so we'll skip. I'll show you. So in other words, I'm gonna go here, here, here. I'm gonna skip every other one. I'm gonna kind of go opposite side. That way it snugs down evenly. Kind of like you would do with head bolts on a engine, or like you do with a car wheel. It's a crisscross pattern. The folks from Lane Shark are coming up tomorrow. Lane Shark is a front mount bush hog or brush cutter that goes on your bucket mount area. Basically allows you to trim with the front of your tractor and also articulates up and back. It does all sorts of fun stuff. That'll be a fun video that's going to be coming out soon. So we're all snug. Snug as a bug. We're going to go ahead and address this other one really quickly. You guys don't need to see me do 2 spindles. It's just a pretty simple process. Just plug and play. But we all need to make sure this thing's gonna work right. So we'll see you in just a minute. We'll get all these on, lower the deck down, and give her a little test run together. All right, see you in a minute. Guys, have you ever done a mechanical project like this with your wife? Post a comment down there. Let me know. How do you and your wives get along? Or if you're a wife and you and your husband work together on stuff like this, tell me if you guys get along when you work together doing projects like this. I feel pretty confident I can handle a spindelectomy on most anything now. Let's go ahead and we'll lower this thing down, get the new blades on it, give it a try, see how she does. I think it's going to be great. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this video. If you like this kind of content, be sure to pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any suggestions or questions, post them down there in the comments. The nice thing about the Ventrac is everything is accessible. It's really, really easy to work on. You raise this up, you can change blades, you can service the mower, you can get to your belts. All you got to do to get to your belts is just raise up that little flap right there, and then you can get to your belts, tighten everything up. It's really easy and very accessible. It's one of the most awesome, most versatile little tractors I've ever used. I mean, it really is like the multi-tool of tractors. Man, that worked great. Our spindle swap was absolutely successful. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video today. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about how to work on mower decks and how to replace spindles. And man, the Ventrac striping. Did you see the stripes this thing was putting down? Did an awesome job, guys. I cannot say how happy I am with the Ventrac tractor. That being said, stay tuned. There's something behind me. There's a crate right here. We've got a little something else to show you here in a future video. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, pound that like button. If you're not following us on Facebook, get on it, son. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm. All right? Woo!